There is no question that the city of Philadelphia is rich in basketball culture.
I think we're pretty dope. I don't know if anybody wants to admit it.
But basketball is also embedded into the DNA of Philadelphia's youth. And oftentimes, playing the sport can be an escape from some of the harsh realities of growing up in the city.
Death and poverty and just things of that nature that's just not conducive to positive outcomes. Unfortunately, that's the reality of it.
Kenny Holtzman, the CEO of Philadelphia Youth Basketball, noticed several other sports had youth programs except for one.
Why do we have nothing comparable?
In June of 2015, Holtzman developed PYB, or better known as Philadelphia Youth Basketball, a community-built empowerment organization that leverages the game of basketball to help today's urban youth overcome systemic issues in their areas.
This is about giving thousands of kids, especially lower-income kids of color, the opportunity to become their best selves.
But to allow these children to become their best selves, Holtzman knew that more had to be done. In 2021, PYB took its next step and announced plans to convert a 100,000 square foot building in the Nicetown section of North Philadelphia. This became the Alan Horwitz Sixth Man Center that, when finished, will house 7 full basketball courts, a multimedia lab, classrooms, a financial literacy workshop, and so much more.
And the alternative is it's the streets, it's despair, it's not making much of oneself. The kid needs a shot to be great.
The $30 million project is still under construction and is expected to open in late 2022. The Sixth Man Center is named after the actual Sixth Man himself and Alan Horwitz. Horwitz is the city's biggest Sixers fan, and he's donated $5 million to the project that bears his name.
The players themselves have told me that they were the underprivileged kids when they were young. I surely wanted to donate, my time and my money towards such a wonderful cause.
I don't think there could be too many resources when it comes to the community because, again, we need it.
And that's why Khadijah Bowens, a North Philadelphia resident and former Temple women's basketball guard, also runs her own youth basketball organization with her partner, Tashid Carr.
It means everything to me. It means everything to me because I'm a product of North Philadelphia. I was one of those kids coming up, tapped into my community as far as mentoring and giving back since as long as I can remember. And I almost feel like an obligation to do it because if we don't, then who will?
This is really about bringing the young kids together. We're trying to, combat gun violence. That's number one. But two, just trying to get the kids some substance.
According to Bowens and Carr, substance is key. PYB and the Sixth Man Center will need to bring in mentors who have the ability to break through to these kids.
It's crazy because you would think when you're giving positive things and you're pouring into it and the programs are free that people will come, but the harsh reality of it is our people sometimes, it's like pulling teeth. You gotta look like these kids, you gotta talk like them, you gotta sometimes dress like them, you have to meet them where they are because we want the buy-in. And we always use basketball because this is a basketball city.
The Sixth Man Center and the Khadijah Bowens Foundation have the same mission. It's all about the kids who grow up around record gun violence and who live in poverty.
We come up with so much trauma and we begin to normalize the things that we see that aren't necessarily normal. I grew up in this neighborhood where we're doing this interviews where I used to play basketball. To have a place like this for the kids to come to and feel safe and can play basketball is necessary.
And although basketball in these programs cannot fully wipe away these burdens, the sport does have the ability to bring light and hope into a child's life, allowing them to not only obtain substance, but to also rally around a sport that is so important to the fabric in the city of Philadelphia.